Catherine, Paige Shock and Raw gave Shock and Raw that story on Rev G. Shock and Raw is the one who put a detailed of how he got that story about this guy that allegedly Rev G did. I don't know anything about Rev G's sex life. I don't have anything against Rev G. I'm not saying anything about Rev G. I'm just saying that's the last narrative they tried to paint. That didn't fly. So now they're saying I'm buying and selling information on people I don't give a damn about.
Anti-Afro Svengalis. I needed to make sure we're all on the same page before I deliver my commentary. Here we go again. Take a number. That's what it's all about. But the most significant part of my message is pointing out to you what happens additionally over and over and over again without fail. Whenever there is any mention, discussion, reference, lies, slander, accusation involving males, men, dudes, brothers, and it involves their sexual organs and what their sexual organs are doing with other men, guess who's always right in the middle? And I will say, head first, down south, not what's up north, where your ears and your eyes are. Head first, down south, on the male anatomy, TCTV is right there in the middle of it. But here's the thing. TCTV doesn't want to deal with any of these situations where you have a dude, a brother, a man being labeled gay, DL, cheating on his girlfriend, cheating on his wife with another dude, right? TCTV wants nothing to do with this type of slander, lies, and harassment unless other dudes are talking about it. It doesn't turn him on unless other dudes are making the statements, repeating the statements, asking the latest to be targeted for these gay rumors and DL rumors. He wants to hear it from the males, from the dudes, from the target denying it. But it's not going to be good enough for TCTV unless the words are being spoken. Like the male body parts, parts of the anatomy, and the more vulgar you can get, the better it is for TCTV. He needs to hear it. This is what TCTV is all about. That's what he was doing in the Umar Johnson right from the start. He had these live streams, and we have these live streams where he would do nothing. And if I said that's an over exaggeration, okay, fine. 98% of his discussion was making references to the sexual body parts of other dudes and leveling false allegations about them being gay and DL and running around. This is a conquest fantasy of TCTV's. That's his conquest fantasy. Think about it. The most unsuspecting brother that you can think of, that you can imagine. In your mind, we'll go and just make it easy. Athletes. Although we know gay people exist everywhere, there is a tendency to think that football players are masculine and heterosexual. Most people look at football players like that. So think of any football player. Pick your favorite football player. All of a sudden is being labeled DL, having affairs with other men, cheating on his wife. You would be shocked. But that's what TCTV wants to get. That's why he gets so excited, because it's a conquest fantasy. This brother who has the stereotypical masculine persona, I can make him DL. I can make him gay. How? by merely talking about it and jumping on this bullshit that these other idiots are spewing. Why is TCTV coming out now and showing up? Because this is what he wants to talk about. Ladies, bow out. He doesn't want to talk to you. He wants to talk to the dudes because he wants to hear the dudes talking about it, making the statements, repeating the salacious, the sexually vulgar and detailed information that the lies and the slander are bringing forth. He needs to hear the dudes talk about it because that's what he gets off on. Gets his rocks off on it. Hearing other dudes talk about male on male sex action. He did it on his channel. That's what he did. And he needed to have a few females up there, here and there, to cover. When all those other freaks would gather together, and of course it includes the subject you heard at the beginning, spreading these lies about others. And if you didn't see my post on the community wall in red and white about sexual orientation, those who are so adamant, and I'm going to focus on dudes right now, very often those who are so adamantly focused on other males and their sexual anatomy and what they're potentially doing with other dudes, figment of their imagination, but it's their whole concept of, I can turn you out. You're so big and tough and you're a masculine, but I can get you DL. I can get you gay. This is what TCTV gets off on. He is so happy right now to hear yet another person, another brother has been targeted because he won't obey, because he won't do what you want. So here comes your conquest fantasy. Who in the hell sits around and talks about other male body parts? TCTV was doing that. For those of you who aren't aware, Catherine Brown was saying that she was targeted, but it was very odd because he knew, TCTV knew, I just have to make these statements, no matter how vulgar they are, just to try to get control of someone. It doesn't matter whether you're targeting another dude or you're targeting a female. And it's rare that he would target females because 98% of the time he was talking about other males, but he decided to do that. And what happened? Catherine Brown came after him. And by the way, you're still on the hook for the lawsuit, TCTV. You better get your shit together. You better get your shit together because what Catherine Brown said you did, she's still pursuing your ass. Whether he actually did it, he's denying it, but he sure does the same thing to other dudes. That's what he does. Puts them in the middle of bullshit and thinks it's funny. Do you all recall TCTV came out and said, oh, I have a son I didn't know I had, and he's 21 years old and all la la la. Guess what the first thing they did? Father and son who never met each other until the son was 21 years old. Guess what their first project was on YouTube? Writing a male on male sexually explicit rap song targeting a heterosexual married man with kids. That's what he did with the son he never knew. Interesting, although they never met, they're just like each other, hyper focused on the sexual body parts of other men and wanting these men to have to be in a position to come up and defend themselves using the same sexually explicit language. He loves it. Every second of it. TCTV and his freaks loved doing that. And the other one who is super contraband here, I'm not even going to mention. That subject was doing the same damn thing. So I want to say this to you, Smoke. There was never any dispute with the goo guys. AFW was never, quote, going against the goo guys. They're threatening us with violence, threatening us with murder and sex crimes. And we had to call the local police and we had to call the FBI to get it to stop. So you're damn right. If anybody is going to cross the line with me, I'm going to take care of business. Going back to these rumors and this DL and these gay rumors, TCTV was saying the same thing about me. Oh, she's a lesbian. Hey, everybody's got to make a decision for themselves when it comes to defending yourself. How you do that. That is ultimately your choice. I have emphasized over and over, I have strongly discouraged other people from jumping on this wild, rickety, two-legged bandwagon of defending yourself against the ridiculous. I absolutely wouldn't ever dream of grabbing a panel and defending myself against this garbage. So many things were said about me. You can kiss my ass. I don't care at all. But this is what happened. They hated the fact that I refused to go on those panels and defend myself and scream and holler and act a fool. So they started to threaten my life. And that's where you cross the line, TCTV. And when the FBI came over here to talk to me with the local police, they said they know exactly who you are. If they needed to get to you, they will get to you. But it just so happens the subject that was doing the most garbage at the behest of TCTV, he had a lot of other issues that they had him in a vice. And they told me, we can't predict the future, but we have a feeling you're not going to have any other trouble out of him. And if you do, my local contact, the sheriff's department, is still there. As a matter of fact, there was another person that switched in his place. I still have a local contact if those threats resume. We have identified everyone and we are monitoring the space. And they reassured me, you did the right thing. Don't ever hesitate to call us. Don't try to figure it out. If you have any inkling that someone's behavior online is illegal, harassing, anything along those lines, call us. Nobody's telling us not to call. I don't know where the hell you get off TCTV thinking you can order black folks around because you have a shitty relationship with law enforcement because of your past and you never reformed. You just never reformed. But this is his manner of coping, this gay DL crap that he has going on. You got your own problems to deal with. You should deal with your own problems and don't make them other people's problems. Catherine Brown scared the shit out of you. Catherine Brown never had a case against us, but it sure sounds like she may have a case against you because she's continuing to pursue you. And somebody else said TCTV just gets mad. He doesn't get enough attention. So he has to come up with these outrageous, outlandish rumors, or like we see now, he's jumping right in, head down south first to get involved and give his opinion about the shit. Now, let me tell you another bizarre thing TCTV did.